Hi there, it's Ralph Plowman here, and today I'd like to discuss how stress affects people and the negatives that it can bring to people's lives who are suffering from both short-term and long-term stress. Stress affects us all. You may notice symptoms of stress when disciplining your kids, during busy times at work, when managing your finances, or when coping with a challenging relationship. Stress is everywhere. And while a little stress is okay, some stress is actually beneficial. It forces us to lose clarity of thought, to get things done. Too much stress can wear us down and make us sick, both physically and mentally. The first step to controlling stress is to know the symptoms of stress. But recognize the stress symptoms may be harder than you think. Most of us are so used to being stressed at any given time in our day and month, we often don't know how stressed we really are until we're literally at breaking point. So what is stress? Well, stress is the body's reaction to harmful situations, whether they're real or perceived by us. When you feel threatened, a chemical reaction occurs in your body that allows you to act in a way to prevent injury. The reaction is known as fight or flight, which you've probably heard of, or the stress response. During the stress response, your heart rate increases, breathing quickens, muscles tighten, and blood pressure rises. You've got ready to act. That's how you protect yourself. Stress means different things to different people. What causes stress in one person may be of little concern to somebody else. Some people are better able to handle stress than others, and not all stress is bad, as I said. In small doses, stress can help you accomplish tasks and prevent you from getting hurt. For example, stress is what gets you to slam on the brakes to avoid hitting a car in front if it stops suddenly. And obviously that's a good thing. Our bodies are designed to handle small doses of stress, but we're not equipped to handle long-term chronic stress without ill consequences. So what are the symptoms of stress? Stress can alter all parts of our lives, including emotions, behaviours, thinking ability, and physical health. No part of the body is immune to it. But because people handle stress differently, symptoms of stress can vary. Symptoms can be vague and may be the same as those caused by medical conditions. So it is important to discuss them with your doctor. You may have any of the following symptoms of stress. Symptoms of emotional stress include becoming highly agitated, frustrated, moody. You may feel overwhelmed, as if you're losing control or need to take control of things, having a hard time relaxing and quieting your mind. You may be feeling bad about yourself, low self-esteem, feeling lonely, worthless and depressed. You may stop socialising and avoiding others for no real reason, just because you just don't feel like being with other people. Physical symptoms of stress can include low energy, headaches, upset stomachs, including diarrhea or constipation or nausea, aches, pains, tense muscles. You can have chest pains or rapid heartbeat, lack of sleeping. Obviously, insomnia is a frequent symptom. You may find yourself getting more colds and infections that you didn't normally get prior to you feeling stressed. Loss of sexual desire and ability is a common one, unfortunately, which obviously then can impact our partner if it leads to like long-term stress. Nervousness, shaking, sometimes even ringing in the ears like tinnitus, cold, sweaty hands or feet. You may get a dry mouth or feel hard to swallow. And then sometimes you may even just find your muscles feel very tense, even grinding your teeth at night as a common cause of stress. Cognitive symptoms of stress include constant worrying, racing thoughts that you just can't get rid of, forgetfulness and disorganisation, the inability to focus, even on the most basic of tasks, poor judgment, making the wrong decisions that probably you knew were wrong but you did anyway, being pessimistic and only seeing the negative in things rather than having a more well-balanced viewpoint. Behavioural symptoms of stress include changes in appetite, either not eating at all or going the other way, overeating to compensate. procrastinating and avoiding responsibilities, putting things off, not committing to things, or let you know later, or when it's too much at the moment, I'll get back to you, that sort of thing. Obviously, more use of coping mechanisms such as alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs. Also having more nervous habits such as nail biting, fidgeting, pacing, which again can lead to less of sleep. So what are the consequences of long-term stress? As I said, a little stress now and then isn't something to be concerned about, but ongoing chronic stress can cause or worsen many serious health problems, including things like mental health, depression, anxiety, and personal disorders. Can also lead to long-term things like cardiovascular disease, heart disease, high blood pressure, heart arrhythmia, even strokes. As we mentioned before, if people tend to overeat and overdrink, that will obviously lead to eating disorders and obesity, menstrual problems for women, and sexual dysfunction such as impotence, etc. in men. Just in general, the lack of desire for physical intimacy between both men and women, and also things such as skin and hair problems, acne, etc. And sometimes even permanent hair loss if it's a very long-term solution. If any of those resonated with you or you'd like to discuss them, feel free to contact me on the links below, and have a good day, and take care of yourselves.